You look at your reflection and you see a survivor. You see a woman who has walked through fire and made it out alive. But you also see the armor. You are wearing a suit of steel so thick that nothing can hurt you anymore. But here is the tragedy of that armor. Nothing can hurt you, but nothing can touch you either. No warmth, no tenderness, no love. You are safe, but you are starving. Welcome back to the Midlife Reset Manual. We are stepping onto holy ground today, the ground of the broken heart. Most women I talk to over 50 have a secret vow they made to themselves. A vow that says, never again will I give a man the power to destroy me. Never again will I be the fool. Never again will I believe the fairy tale. I understand that vow. It is a survival strategy. It is your brain trying to keep you alive. But while that vow keeps you alive, it prevents you from truly living. Let me tell you about Monica. Monica is 55. She is a brilliant lawyer, sharp, funny, beautiful, but she hasn't been on a date in 8 years since her divorce. Her husband didn't just leave. He embezzled their retirement fund and started a new family with her best friend. The double betrayal nearly killed her. She told me, I have a great life. I have friends. I have my garden. I don't need a man to complicate things. She said it with a smile, but her eyes didn't smile. Monica came to me because she was having a recurring dream. In the dream, she was standing in a beautiful house, but all the doors and windows were bricked up. She was screaming for someone to let her out, but nobody could hear her. We unpacked that dream, and the tears finally came. She admitted, I am lonely. I miss being held. I miss having a witness to my life. But I am terrified that if I open the door, the wolf will come back in. In that moment of vulnerability, Monica realized the brick wall wasn't keeping the wolf out. It was keeping Monica in. She was the prisoner of her own protection. Monica's story is the story of every woman who has been burned. We think trust is something we give to others, like a gift. And when they break it, we run out of gifts. But trust is not about them. Trust is about you. It is about trusting your own gut, trusting your own resilience, trusting that if you get hurt again, you will not break. You will bounce back because you are not the same naive girl you were 20 years ago. Let's analyze the anatomy of the wall. When we experience trauma, our brain rewires itself to scan for danger. You go on a coffee date, and the man is nice, he is polite, he is interesting, but your brain is screaming, red flag. He is too nice. He is lying. He is just like the last one. You self-sabotage. You become cold. You push him away before he can hurt you, and then you go home and say, see, there are no good men left. But are there no good men? Or are you wearing glasses that filter out the good and only highlight the dangerous? We attract what we fear. If you fear betrayal, you will subconsciously seek out men who feel familiar. And for many of us, chaos feels familiar. Safety feels boring. Safety feels suspicious. We have to retrain our nervous system to tolerate safety. To tolerate a man who calls when he says he will, to tolerate a man who is boringly consistent. I want to introduce a concept called microtrusting. You don't go from a fortress to an open field in one day. That is reckless. You install a gate and you open it an inch. You start with low-stakes risks. Maybe you smile at a stranger in the grocery store. Maybe you accept a compliment without deflecting it. Maybe you tell a friend a secret you have been hiding. Watch what happens. Did the world end? Did they attack you? No. The world stayed on its axis, and you got a little hit of connection. But the biggest hurdle, the mountain we have to climb, is trusting yourself. You don't trust men because you don't trust your own judgment. You look back at your ex and think, how did I miss the signs? I must be stupid. I must be broken so you don't date. Because you are afraid you will make the same mistake again, but you are not the same woman. The woman who married him didn't know what you know now. She didn't have the scars that serve as a map. You have the map now. There is a specific ritual to rewrite this internal narrative, to burn the contract that says, I am damaged goods, and sign a new contract that says, I am open for business. It involves a very specific way of looking at your past relationships, not as failures, but as data points. We are going to turn your heartbreak into your homework, and we are going to graduate with honors. I have a method called the Trust Audit. It is going to show you exactly where your judgment failed in the past and how to patch that hole in the hull so you can sail again without sinking. I am going to walk you through it step by step. In the next part of this video, it is practical, it is powerful, and it is the key to unlocking that bricked up house. But before we pick up the sledgehammer, I need to know you are ready to tear down the wall. I need to know you are brave enough to want love again. Click that subscribe button. Turn on the notifications, because in the next section, we are going to rewrite your love story. And this time, you get to be the heroine who wins, not the victim who hides. The trust audit is not about analyzing him. It is about analyzing you. I want you to take a piece of paper and divide it into 2 columns. On the left side, write the name of the person who broke your heart. On the right side, I want you to write down the very first time you felt a knot in your stomach, not the day you broke up, but the first time. Maybe it was 3 weeks in, when he made a sarcastic joke about your job. Maybe it was the first time he canceled plans without a good reason, and you felt that little ping of warning. Most women look at that right-hand column and gasp, because the date is usually years before the relationship ended. What does this prove? It proves that your intuition was working perfectly. Your radar was not broken. You saw the red flag, but you painted it white. Because you wanted to be loved, because you didn't want to be alone, because you thought you could fix him. This is the breakthrough. You do not need to learn how to trust men. You need to learn how to trust the woman who felt that knot in her stomach. She was right all along, and she is still there. She is your bodyguard. When you realize that your internal alarm system is functional, you can take the bricks down from the windows, because you know that if a wolf tries to get in, you will hear the alarm, and this time you will listen to it. Now that we have reestablished self-trust, we need to talk about the addiction to the spark. In our 20s, we were taught that love is lightning, it is breathless, it is obsessive, it keeps you up all night. But I am here to tell you that for women over 50, that kind of spark is often just anxiety in a glittery dress. It is your trauma recognizing his trauma. Healthy love does not feel like a roller coaster. It feels like a calm Sunday morning. It feels like a fireplace, steady, warm, and sustainable. When Monica finally started dating again, she met a man named David. He was a retired teacher. He wasn't flashy. He didn't sweep her off her feet with grand gestures. He just showed up. He called when he said he would. He asked her questions and listened to the answers, Monica told me. I almost broke up with him after the 3rd date because I wasn't feeling the butterflies. I told her, good, butterflies are often just a sign that you are nervous. Give it time. Let the fire build slowly. She stayed. And 6 months later, she told me that for the first time in her life, she wasn't worrying about where she stood. She was just standing, solid and loved. So how do you invite this kind of love in? You have to change your marketing strategy. If you walk into the dating world with your armor on, you will only attract men who like a challenge or men who want to break you. You have to practice vulnerability as a filter. This is scary, but it is efficient. on an early date. Share something real, not your deepest trauma, but something true. Like I'm really passionate about my painting, or I am in a season of reinventing myself. Watch his reaction. Does he lean in? Does he ask more? Or does he glaze over and talk about his golf game? If he leans in, he passes the filter. If he checks out, he fails, and you have saved yourself months of wasted time. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is a sorting mechanism. It repels the wrong people and attracts the right ones. I want to give you a mantra for this new chapter. It is simple, but it changes the energy you project. The mantra is, I am the prize. For years, you tried to be the chosen one. You auditioned for their love. You twisted yourself into pretzels to be what they wanted. Stop auditioning. You are the casting director now. You are the one with the rich life, the wisdom, the depth. You are looking for a partner who is worthy of joining your production, not begging for a role in theirs. Let's address the fear of baggage. Women tell me I have too much baggage. Who would want me? I want you to stop calling it baggage. Baggage is dead weight. Call it luggage. Luggage contains useful things. Your past relationships taught you patience. They taught you resilience. They taught you exactly what you do not want. That is not trash. That is a treasure map. A man of quality. A man in his 50s or 60s. He has luggage too. And he is looking for a woman who understands the weight of it, who doesn't need him to be perfect. Just present. You are standing at the edge of a second chance. Do not let the ghost of the past scare you away from the warmth of the future. Your heart is a muscle. It can stretch, it can tear, but it heals stronger than before. The Japanese have a concept called kintsugi, where they repair broken pottery with gold. The cracks are visible, but they make the piece more beautiful, more valuable. You are that golden bowl. You are not damaged goods. You are a masterpiece of survival. So here is your assignment. Go out this week and leave the gate unlocked, just a crack. Smile at the world. Wear the color that makes you feel alive. And whisper to yourself, I trust me. I trust me to choose. I trust me to leave if I have to. But I trust me to love if I can. Your love story is not over. The first half was just the prologue, the real story, the deep story, the story where the heroine finally knows her worth. That story starts right now, and it is going to be beautiful. If this touched that tender place in your heart, if you feel a little spark of hope, share this with a friend who has given up on love. Tell her it is safe to try again. Subscribe to the Midlife Reset Manual because we are rewriting the rules of life after 50. And I want you holding the pen. You are loved more than you know. Open the door.